Game. So I'm gonna make a recreation of JADE THIRLWALL's makeup look in their music video of Touch. I noticed that every single one has at least a green color in their eyeshadow, but it's all presented differently, or it's all made up differently. And JADE's makeup was... oh, I'm gonna show it here. Ta-da! I know this is the only close-up shot I can get out of the music video, and the guy is there. I think hers is the most wearable out of the four. I mean, you guys can wear any of the eye makeup that they have in that music video, but you know, if you're someone who's not used to makeup, or you're not used to drama on your eyes, and you just want to try different colors, you know, not stick to the brands, the basics, the neutrals, which is also fine, but if you want like a pop of color but not too much, I think her makeup look is perfect for those kinds of girls. So. By the way, remember in my last video I used a primer that I didn't like and I wanted to give it a last shot. See this? This tiny thing here? Yeah, that's my update. It broke me out, so I'm never gonna use it again.
Hi guys, okay, let's start. I used two moisturizers, both from Celeteque, the hydration one and the acne solutions one, and I used both to balance out the tackiness from the acne solutions one. So now I'm using the NYX HD primer. Although it has a white cast, it's easy to fix later on since I'm gonna wear foundation and other powders anyway. So yeah, it's supposed to make the makeup last much longer.
I knew this was about to happen.
Remember to shake the foundation before you use it. Now I'm using the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge, I think that's what they call it, to apply the foundation all over my face. Last time I used a brush and it applied really well, so now I'm trying it out with a sponge to see if it's good or not. So I'm applying more coverage in some of my problem areas, like my pimples, like my chin area, all the good stuff. Now I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Creamy Beige for my under eyes. And again, blend it all out with the Real Techniques sponge. And then now I'm applying it on my forehead, center of my nose, and my chin area. Blend it all out. Okay. To cover up my pimples even more, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Pure Beige. And then now I'm using the Milani powder, transparent powder, sorry, from my under eyes. And then I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation Powder in the shade Sun Beige to powder the rest of my face. Now we're gonna move on to bronzer. I'm using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Face Powder in the shade Caramel Beige, and then I like to use this Echo Tools brush both for bronzing and for contouring because I use the diagonal side of the brush for the bronzer and then the tip of the brush I use for contour. And then now I'm showing you where I contour, which is at the outer part of my cheek. I don't go all the way down, I just go about half of my cheek just to make it look more seamless. And then I'm using the Hoola bronzer for contouring. And then I'm gonna blend it all with the Real Techniques sponge. Same thing I'm gonna do on the other side of the cheeks. Now I'm gonna contour my nose using the same bronzer, which is the Hoola bronzer. Then I'm going to soften it up using the Real Techniques sponge. I used my shade swatcher to clean it up a bit. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to compare the Jordana, this one, Coral Sandy Beach, and NARS Orgasm, because I think they really look the same. So this is the NARS Orgasm. It's very shiny. Obviously it has more glitters and gold specks than this one. See? This one is much cooler than this one, for sure. But honestly, you know what? I like this even better. I like this more than this one. Because first of all, I kind of don't like that it has that much sheen and gold specks. I used to like this before, but like now that I have this, I actually like this more. And it's like thousands cheaper. So yeah, let's use this. Also very pigmented. So again, it looks super, super, super natural.
Now we're gonna move on to highlight. I'm using the sleek Solstice highlighting palette, and then I'm showing you which shade I'm using. I actually don't know the name of it because the names at the back, it's all written in the list manner, so I don't know which is which. I see the glow. Ooh, there you go. Then now I'm brushing my brows. I'm using the Face Shop Designing Eyebrow Pencil in the shade brown. I think it's 03, which is actually the wrong shade, but whatever. I'm gonna make it work.
I'll never show it on my face. Okay, so this brown mascara I'm using is from NYX, and although I like it because it does make your hair stay in place, well, as long as I can remember, but this is too long for me. The brush on the Essence Make Me Brown one is a lot shorter, and I like that, but it doesn't last as long as this one.
Okay, now for my eyes, I used the same shade from the L'Oreal Pro Concealer, which is Creamy Beige, and then just blend it all out using my finger, and then now I'm gonna set it using the Milani Transparent Powder.
And again, whenever you put the transition shade, it's actually best to do it while your eyes are open. It doesn't have to be like this open, but like look down. Look down, look straight, look down, look straight. So when you look straight, you know how it's gonna look like.
Okay, now I'm using Burnt Orange just below Golden Ochre to smoothen out the transition shade and to make it warmer. So I'm concentrating the product on the outer edge of my eyes, and then I'm blending it upwards towards Golden Ochre and then a little bit on the inner part of the eye. And then I'm using the small part of the brush that comes in the Anastasia palette, and then I'm using Realgar. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry if I butchered it. I'm only putting it on the lash line at the end of my eyes, and then I blend it upwards and inwards. So I'm focusing the product at the end just to make the dimension more seamless, and then blend it in. So now for the center of the lid, I used Primavera, and I used it without a setting spray or anything, because looking at the photo, it looks like Jade's eyeshadow on the center of her lid isn't that, you know, in your face, bam, highlighted. So, and then I lost battery again, so I spent some time charging, and then while I was charging, there's some oils coming out of my face, so this is what I used. I just used a normal 2-ply tissue, separated it in half, and then applied it, got rid of the oils. You should not use powder over oils, so take out the oils first and then put powder. Now I'm using a Maybelline cream eyeliner to give my eyes a bit of a wing. So this is the cheat I'm doing. So I use a cream eyeliner in the shade black, and then I'm using a dark green eyeshadow. That one is from LA Colors. It's one of their 16 eyeshadow palettes. And then I'm just lightly tapping the color, or the shadow rather, on the eyeliner. So since it's a cream product, it's gonna stick to the eyeliner. The shadow is gonna stick to the eyeliner. Then now I'm curling my lashes, and then doing my favorite part, putting mascara on. This is the Maybelline Hyper Curl Mascara. This is waterproof. If you haven't watched my previous video, I have a trick every time I use the mascara. I always take out 80% of the product out of the brush before I use it.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait for them to dry before I fix this.
So now for the lower part of the lid, I used a green shadow from the Morphe 35S palette, and then I'm focusing the product on the outer edge of the eyes. And then for the center of my lower lash line, I'm using this beautiful foiled green eyeshadow from the same palette, and then I'm just tapping it on the center of the lower lash line, and then I'm extending it a little bit on the inner part of the eyes. And then using the brush, the same brush I used from the upper lid, I blended everything on the lower lash line, and then used the same mascara. And then I'm just correcting the mistake I did a while ago. And then for the lips, I used the Kylie Ginger Matte Lip Kit. And then I'm topping it off with ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Airplane Mode. And then I'm just mixing it using my finger. And then to finish the lip, I'm using a Features and Shades liquid lipstick. They call this a liquid lipstick, but it's more of a gloss, but I still like it. And then spray with setting spray, and then this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed and liked this look. Please like and subscribe, comment, whatever, and I'll see you guys very soon.